Atrocities is a heavy word, but it's the correct one, because there are things that many pet parents might do, maybe even without realizing it, that truly do feel like atrocities to your cat. If you don't address these things ASAP, literally right now, your cat will become totally convinced you don't love them. And if that lasts too long, it might be hard to undo that bad impression. These are atrocities you may want to avoid. Atrocity 1. Ignoring their greetings. I want to paint you a picture, but it's more a case of tracing a picture, because it's a picture all pet parents to feline friends will already have seen and be familiar with. You walk home after a long, hard day at work, weighed down with both bags and built-up stress, mumbling under your breath about how awful the traffic was. And there in the hallway waiting for you is your cat. Their tail straight up like a flagpole, possibly even curled into that adorable question mark shape. You know they do it sometimes. If they're feeling extra cheeky, they may throw in a chirp, or a trill, maybe even a meow. But what do? Without realizing you're doing it, you ignore them. Breeze straight on past them and toward the kitchen or living room, not because you're disinterested in their love, but because work was tough today and you just want to grab something to eat or to crash onto the couch and relax. Some pet parents to feline friends may not think this is that big of a deal, because it's not like your cat is a dog. Now dogs, they really go to town welcoming you home. But cats seem less fussed, so you don't need to put too much of a fuss into saying hello to them, right? Well, I'm sorry to say, not right at all. The opposite of right. Left. Wait, no, I mean wrong. Sure, cats don't do grand reunions like dogs. They don't leap and lick and put up bunting. But this isn't because they don't care. They're just more subtle and refined in how they express themselves. The upright tail I mentioned? Not random. Ethologist Paul Leyhausen first documented it way back in the 1970s, describing it as a friendly approach signal reserved for companions. This led to further studies into tail language, with subsequent research revealing that your cat sitting there for you with their tails up is basically a quiet way of offering a welcome home hug. Imagine you have a partner. Let's give them a gender-neutral name like Sam or Dr. Love. Imagine if Dr. Sam Love had been busy at work all day while you were stuck at home, and then, when you come home, you extended your arms out for a hug and they just strolled past you without so much as a glance. It'd suck, right? It sucks for your cat too. And the noises I mentioned, trills and meows, also not random. A 2013 study by Atsuko Saito at the University of Tokyo found that cats not only recognize their owner's voice, but specifically modulate their meows when greeting them. In the study, Saito wrote about how cats' vocalizations are rarely random and often adjusted based on context. And this is especially true when it comes to how they handle social interactions and how they love. If, when you come home, your cat is waiting for you and they meow right at you, and you just ignore it like it's random white noise, you're not ignoring the fact that they are actively meowing at you, saying hello. It's so important to make sure your cat's attempts to greet you don't go ignored. All cat experts, including me, propose a nice, simple fix. When you walk through the door, if your fluffy buddy is there waiting for you, pause for a moment. Bend down, stroke their cheeks. If they slow blink at you, absolutely give them one back. It only takes 5 seconds. But even a 5-second acknowledgement can completely change the way your cat experiences your arrival home. Atrocity 2. Withholding lap privileges. Want to know why some cats who were once so loving suddenly become hyper-independent? To understand why, let's swing to a different part of the day. The arrival is over. You're now sitting on the couch watching a YouTube video and sipping a cup of tea as a nice attempt to detox your soul. Your cat sees this, and what do they think? Hello, hello, hello. This looks like a near-perfect snuggly moment. And what will make it even better? Me. They hop onto your lap, curling up so they look like a fluffy croissant, and start purring with the intensity of a motorboat. Then the atrocity happens. You're feeling a bit too warm, or maybe it's a touch inconvenient to have a great big fluffy lamp on your lap, and now you can't quite reach that perfectly brewed Earl Grey. So you move your cat. For you, that may be temporary. You may have every intent to return your cat to your lap once you've had a wee reshuffle. But as Dr. Dennis Turner explains in the book he edited, The Domestic Cat, The Biology of Its Behavior, For your cat, it can feel like an emotional exile. He explains that the seeking of proximity in cats mirrors the attachment behaviors children express for their parents. So when they climb on your lap, they're not just on the hunt for a seat, there are plenty of those in your house. I assume, if not, invest in a chair. They're pretty helpful if you're in the mood to, well, sit. They are actively choosing you as their safe base. As Dr. Turner goes on to explain, cats that form secure attachments use their owners as a base from which to explore and as a secure place to return. If they're a hobbit who's been venturing around the Middle-earth that is your house, your lap is the shire that they always want to return to after a long adventure. If you reject that request to sit on your lap, you're essentially not welcoming them home. Imagine if all the other hobbits turned around to Samwise after all that business at Mordor and said, "Nope, you're not welcome back." It's not a huge heartbreak, but it's a chip at the heart. And over time, if you keep rejecting those attempts to sit on your lap, you are continuing to chip away, and before long, enough chips become a crack, and then a crack leads to a full break. A moment ago, I mentioned that some loving cats can pivot the other way and suddenly become more into having their own time. This is why. If they feel they were turned away too many times, they'll sadly stop trying at all. The heartbreak is subtle but real. And over time, repeated rejections teach them not to try, which is why some cats appear independent. Often, they were just turned away too many times. That doesn't mean you have to roast under a blanket of fur every night. The solution is the same as it is for most relationship issues. Whether it's a problem with your cat, romantic partner, or plumber, compromise. Place a soft throw across your lap so their fur doesn't cling. Set up a little cat bed right beside your chair so they're still within reach. The key is showing them that you're happy, thrilled even, to have them near you. Just maybe not directly on you. Atrocity number 3. Shuffling them off the furniture. Though sometimes it's not you they sit on, is it? Because of all those lovely spots to sit in you have around the house. They climb onto the back of your chair, your pillow, the arm of your couch. If it's in your house, they will plant their big fluffy butt on it because, if I may quote the ancient scripture of cat knowledge, if I fit, I sit. But where they choose to sit might be a touch inconvenient. Maybe they firmly planted themselves atop the book you are about to read, or on the TV remote that you need because there's a brand new series of the Great British Bake Off and you've got a solo date planned with a bottle of rosé. But cats don't sit on furniture randomly. They choose strategic scent-sharing spots. Because while your nose is not powerful enough to pick up on this, your whole house stinks of you. You spread your scent without realizing you're doing it. You might not be able to smell it, but your cat can. And they want to mingle their smell with yours. Think of it as like double-barreling your surname and theirs. It's your cat's way of making their connection with you permanent. But instead of signing it in ink, they're signing it in stench. They chose the spot where they sit because the density of your smell is so strong. In the example of the book, probably because your fingers have been flicking through the pages. This is why well-revered cat expert John Bradshaw emphasizes that resting places that your cat and you share are a significant component of feline affiliation. You may want or even need to redirect to somewhere else. The problem is it can convey the idea that you don't consider them welcome, that they are not allowed to blend their scent with yours, and that really hurts. Now, it may not be practical to let your cat just sit anywhere and everywhere like the whole world is their own personal throne, despite the whole if I fit, I sit thing. But there is always compromise. Place washable throws or designated blankets on problem furniture so they can still sit there without wreaking havoc on your fabric. You preserve the furniture, but more importantly, you preserve the message. We share this home. We share this life. And yes, we can share our smells. Get mingling. Which is why the next thing can upset them so much. Atrocity 4. The closed door. All us cat lovers know that standoffs don't just happen in cowboy movies, because there's something I like to call the bathroom door standoff. You enter the bathroom, you close the door. All makes sense so far because unless you have very specific interests, you probably like your pooping to be private. But the other combatant in this standoff, your cat, has no respect for privacy. They find the whole concept insulting. Within 30 seconds of you getting cozy on the royal throne, their paw is attempting to slide under the door as they unleash a chorus of panicked meows and maybe even scratch. Now, don't worry, I'm not saying you need to take your cat into the bathroom with you. You're allowed to, for want of a better word, unleash in private. But the problem here is not really what you're doing in the room, but the idea of a locked door in general. Those are a problem for your cat for two reasons. Number meow, that's cat language for number one. Cats are territorial overseers. If a part of that is now locked off, they've cut off from a piece of their kingdom. Number meow, that's cat language for number two, you are on the other side of that divide. And good news, they quite like you. As the feline behaviorist and author of the book Think Like a Cat puts it, cats do not want access to rooms, they want access to people. When you close that door, you are dividing their land and putting yourself on the wrong side of the divide all at once. The fix is, perhaps predictably, a little easy. Whenever possible, leave doors cracked open, but there are some situations, such as using the bathroom when privacy is non-negotiable. Counter it with extra affection after. It's not about never shutting a door, it's about not making your cat feel like you're slamming love out of their reach. Think of closing a door as having an argument with them. You owe them some affection as an apology afterward. And there's something else you might have to apologize for. Atrocity 5. Skipping playtime. Life is busy. You've got deadlines, dinners, and crucially, podcasts to binge. And from what you know, it's the dogs who need the playtime, whereas cats are more the aloof loner types, right? So the cat toys gather dust in the corner. No big deal, right? Actually, it's such a big deal businessmen would brag about making it, then celebrate over champagne. This is one of the cruelest unintentional atrocities. Play isn't just a bit of fun for cats, it's totally non-optional. It is the modern expression of those hunting instincts. The pounce, the stalk, the final victorious capture, and when you don't engage, you're denying them the chance to do the very thing that makes them a cat. It's like not letting Super Mario jump on stuff, and even if you were the kind of cruel monster who doesn't want to do what's best for your cat, which I know you're not, it's also best for you in the long run. Because a 2017 study in applied animal behavior science found that daily interactive play not only reduced behavioral problems, but also significantly increased affiliative behavior toward owners. Play is a crucial avenue for maintaining a strong bond between them and you. If your life is too busy to get everything aside just to chase your cat around the house for hours on end, don't worry. The solution doesn't require hours. Even 10 minutes of structured play with a feather wand or a laser pointer ending in a toy they can physically catch is enough. And if we're honest, it's fun for you anyway. So why not, eh? Though life with a cat isn't just about play, you got to feed them, of course. And I'm sorry to say, it is possible to get this seemingly simple act wrong. Atrocity 6. Feeding on your schedule alone. You might have a casual relationship with food. You eat when you want, grabbing a snack whenever. Maybe it's a graze all day kind of day. Maybe it's a just one meal sort of day. But in cat culture, eating time borders on a ritualistic ceremony, one to be adhered to and respected. So if you treat feeding your cat the way you might feed yourself, randomly tossing some food into their bowl as and when you remember, and never sticking to a specific schedule, it's not just a disrespect of a ritual that means something to them. It's disorientating. That's why a 2020 study published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, which surveyed cat owners, found that cats fed on consistent schedules displayed more affectionate behaviors and less stress. As the authors pointed out, predictability in feeding is interpreted by the animal as reliability in care. So when you delay meals or feed absentmindedly, your cat isn't just hungry, they feel like you're unreliable. And unreliability feels like a lack of love. Every meal is a ceremony. When you provide it with intention, you're reaffirming the bond. When you throw kibble in the bowl on the fly, you reduce it to a transaction. Like most things on this list, the solution is, thankfully, simple. Just create a little structure. Feed them at the same times of the day if you can. And if you can't, use an auto feeder. They are a lot cheaper than they used to be. And when possible, be part of the ritual. Crouch down, say their name, let them nuzzle their face into arms as you try to fill up the bowl. Don't just give them calories, give them care. Atrocity 7. Ignoring slow blinks. Though sometimes it's not about what you can offer your cat, but what they can offer you and your failure to offer it back. Because there's something all cats do that carries a lot more weight that far too many pet parents to feline friends realize. And that's the near iconic slow blink. Your cat locks eyes with you, then slowly closes their eyelids, holds the paws, and opens them again. If a human were to do that, you'd be right to think that's no big deal. They're just blinking. They need to do it so their eyes don't dry up. But for cats, a slow blink is a way of saying, I love you. It's a kiss. It's a hug. So if you just look at them blankly when they do it or glance away, yikes. University of Sussex researchers led by Karen McComb published in Scientific Reports back in 2020 that pretty much all cats respond positively when owners mimic the slow blink, interpreting it as friendly and safe. In the conclusion, McComb concluded that an exchange of slow blinks can even function as a form of cat-human communication that enhances bonding. If your cat tosses a slow blink your way and you don't offer one back, it's like if your romantic partner said, I love you, and you said, good for you. And cats do notice. They may even withdraw a little if they're rejected a few too many times. So you know what to do? Next time your cat slowly blinks, soften your eyes and blink slowly back. You'll see their body relax, sometimes even followed by a contented head turn. It's a micro moment that costs nothing but communicates absolute bucket loads of love. And while we're on the subject of buckets, Atrocity 8, the unwanted bath. Why are cats different from pigs and some rock stars? They remember to bathe. If you're a rock star or pig, please don't be offended. I promise I'm joking. Our cats sometimes spend hours licking away at their fur like they think their own body is made of fish-flavored ice cream cones. Shockingly, most cats are estimated to spend 50% of their waking time bathing. Either they're germaphobes or hedonists. But as self-cleaning pets, surely that makes them perfect as we don't have to worry too much about helping them out in that department. Well, there's just one teeny tiny catch. Sometimes their own bathing methods aren't quite enough. Maybe they've been rolling around in mud like a pig or a rock star, so you might have no choice but to bathe them. But their fur is more than fur to them. It's their identity, their armor. Hence why they spend so much time cleaning it. So when you forcibly scrub them, it can feel like a total violation. Dr. Turner, who I mentioned earlier, has also written about this. In his words, forced grooming disrupts the animal's self-perception and sense of security. So rather naturally, cats perceive this as a negative social interaction. Even if your intention is cleanliness, your cat interprets the bath as a judgment. You do not love me as I am. I am unacceptable in my natural state. The golden rule is to avoid bathing them unless you really need to, especially given how good they are at it themselves. This is because their tongues are covered in something called papillae, which are tiny hook-like things that help remove loose fur and dirt and distribute natural oils across their coat, giving them that glorious shiny finish. But times will come, like if they fall into a swimming pool full of maple syrup, when you have no choice but to give them a deep, proper bath. Alternative? Avoiding baths unless absolutely necessary. If your cat is dirty or sticky, try pet wipes or a damp cloth. Reinforce comfort by pairing grooming with praise or a gentle petting session afterward. You're telling your cat, you're loved and safe, even when I intervene. Seeing as you seem to be in the mood to watch videos that explore challenging but necessary subjects when it comes to cat ownership, there's another video I'd like you to watch. This can kill your indoor cat. Expert warning.